Get $3 off every order at PlayAsia by using the code Censored.
If you weren't already aware, the latest entry in the Tales series, Tales of Berseria, has been confirmed to be having an important cutscene toned down for its upcoming English release. You can find a full comparison of the two scenes by clicking on the link that should be shown on the screen right now. To summarise though, a young character is no longer stabbed by a sword and then left hanging in the air impaled, whilst a hunting crimson sky looms in the backdrop, but is instead raised into the air by magic and is then again attacked by magic rather than a sword. Bandai Namco has explained that this change has been made to both the US and European versions, as the original scene would have raised the title's European rating to 18, rather than its current 16 rating. This decision to tone down the original nature of the scene has naturally been met with some disapproval from fans, but what we'll be taking a look at today is some of the other times the Tales series has had content toned down during localization. Just to warn you though, spoilers are assumed throughout, so please proceed at your own risk. Censorship is nothing new for the Tales series, with a legacy spanning more than 20 years and including 16 main entry titles and numerous spin-offs. Changes have been made during localization in the past, toning down certain inappropriate content. For example, going back to the very first game in the series, Tales of Phantasia, this actually wasn't released in English till much later in 2006 on the Game Boy Advance. However, there were still changes made to certain content. One scene which originally showed the characters drink beer, for example, was altered so that they are now eating cocktail wieners instead. Also, multiple hexagrams were changed to remove the occult designs. How about some of the more recent games though? Well, Tales of Xillia for the PS3 surprised some players when they found that a character no longer plunged off a cliff whilst manically given the middle finger. In the English version, the rude gesture was changed to simply pointing instead. One of the most recent games in the series, Tales of Xillia 2, also changed certain scenes for Western audiences. Now, these parts involve dialogue, and it'd be best to just let you listen for yourself. First up is the Japanese version, and thanks to the YouTube user in the description for the translation.
すみません。立て込んでるので迷子は事務所の方にお願いします。ちょっと駅員室に来てもらえるかね。女の子が君に妙な真似をされたと言っているのだが。待て、逃げる気か。
違う、あの子供が嘘をついたんだ。
そんなことをして何の得がある。騒ぐとことが大きくなるぞ。
何があったんですか？
痴漢だってよ。しかも子供相手に。
Now, as you just saw, originally Elle tells the guard that Luther had touched her sexually, and the onlookers comment on how he's a pervert who's into kids. This was drastically toned down outside of Japan, like so.
Sorry, but I'm busy here. If she's lost, take her to the station office. Sir, you'll need to follow me to the station manager's office. This young lady just told me you tried to lure her out of the train station.
Huh?
Hey, you're not going anywhere! I don't know what you want with that girl, but resisting arrest will only make things worse for you.
What's going on here?
That little girl over there said this guy tried to kidnap her.
A somewhat similar change was made during the joke Hot Sauna ending. First up this time is the English version.
I have to say, this is the life, isn't it? We have to come back sometime and bring Elle with us too.
Yes, absolutely.
By the way, how's the water on your side, boys?
complaints over here.
Let us out! It's supposed to be a co-ed bath!
Alvin, stop pushing!
To think I once commanded the Rashagal army.
Hey, I think I found the zipper!
That is not a zipper, take it easy!
Sorry about that, guys! What's up with the towels? Huh?
They're being digested! What?
We might be close friends now, but not nearly close enough for a co-ed bath.
Now, it's a common misconception that in Japan the boys were caught in their predicament as a result of trying to peep on the girls bathing, and that this was censored in the West. This is however not true. However, one part of the dialogue was still extremely different over in Japan. Rowan's line about once commanding the Rashagal army actually originally hinted that he may be gay. Thanks to Reddit's Ryan of the Stars, who censored gaming asked for help with the translation. Here it is.
To think I once commanded the Rashagal army.
So there you have it. There are a few other times in the past that the Tales series has had certain provocative content toned down outside of Japan. Now this is of course in no way a complete collection of the edits made to the games, and it's just a few that Censored Gaming has found so far. As always, Censored Gaming is here to provide you with the latest in censorship information, so if you know of any other changes then please make sure to let me know, and Censored Gaming will be sure to look into it. Bandai Namco hasn't made any comments about any of these edits, other than the most recent case with Tales of Berseria. Now that Censored Gaming exists though, I'll be sure to continue to press them for comments on matters such as these. Thank you for watching.